Hello, 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 everyone. It's Kim from K&RP here from southeastern Manitoba. It is currently 12 degrees Celsius, which means it's 54 degrees Fahrenheit. It's cloudy, it's partly sunny. It's just one of those fall days. Would be good for working in the yard. We may get rain later. It's supposed to rain all weekend, and it's supposed to snow on Monday. Yes! Manitoba, here we go. Um, Jean Peters here with me today. We are playing. I need to add Jean to the thing. Why aren't you here? There we go. Sorry,
I
Jean.
was I
Jean's
was
here.
incognito.
You were. Jean's here. We're going to work out the bindings and the covers for these little rainbow journals. Although mine is not little, I have not finished the last two signatures, and it's like this. You know? Hi, Anne. Hi, Cal. Hi, Jen. Nice to see you guys. So, I waxed my string that I'm going to be using for binding. I used crayon so that I dyed it to the colors that I needed. And Jean's going to explain what the heck we're doing here.
Hi everyone. Well, first off, let me show you what this is going to look like. This was my original prototype right here. And this is the spine. Super simple. I mean, it might take 30 minutes maybe. Well, take no time to make it. It'll just, sewn in the signatures thing. Um what I did,
Hi, Belinda.
there's one thing about this that is kind of nice. This is and if you've been following along, you know that I made this one because I thought this just had to be a small one too. I just had to do that. And this one has one, two, three, four, five, has 9 signatures. And these are the 4 that are left to do. The plus to this is if you wanted to make your book and kind of get an idea, be real generous in your spacing, you can easily do this. I say easily, and it's going to be a booger, huh? You can take them right off and work in them. So that is one fun thing you can do with this. So, it depends. If you're one of those people who like to make the journal and then do the pages, you can do this, make your journal and pull these out and work on them. Or you could be one of those people that doesn't like to do that and then make your signatures and then make your journal. So these will all still fit on here. I'm going to go ahead
Hi,
and
Susan.
put them on. I don't know if I'm putting them in the right direction, but I'll take them off to work in them, so it doesn't really matter. So you can kind of get an idea just how much extra space I left. I should have done them all but one.
Oh, no, Susan, not fun. She's just here till her battery runs out, Jean.
Oh no.
She can't find a charging cord. I got carried away, guys.
Yes, you did.
And my blue and purple are not done yet. I've been procrastinating and on a monster kick. Those of you who have been following me, I have been just in love with making monsters. So I zoomed and oh, look, this signature is bigger than the other signatures. What did I do? Oh, no, no. You know what? It's going to have to be like that. Look.
So, oh.
Oops. Who measured this? You could tell I was in a hurry yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Hey, at least you did it yesterday. My last 2 aren't finished either, and I did it this morning.
I was still adding stuff to the blue one this morning.
So this is after they've all been put out, and you can still tell there's plenty of room. And there's still, I like this because I think this is how I want to display it, like this. The pages I've already done in here are all done with stickers and a little bit of background pieces, maybe some painting papers and stuff, but it's all done with stickers. And I have had the most fun with this book I've had in a long, long time. So let's get back to where we're at. I was just showing the pre stuff. Okay, here's mine. Not as chunky as Kim's, and my my yellow one is extra short, Kim. So
That's
see,
okay. I'm doing a little bit of trimming here. I can do just smidgy trimming.
so anyway, I have these, and this is what I did for the two that aren't finished because I didn't want them to be completely flat when I determined my size. I took some components that I might use and paper clipped them in. This one has two groups of them, and this one just has one. For some reason, I don't have a lot of blue stuff. I don't know why. And I know this kind of looks blue and it kind of looks purple. I don't have a lot of purple, so it went to the purple. So I did this so that they would have a little bit more wrap to them. So what I did is I determined I don't care if it sits like this a little bit. That's kind of what I want. That's what I like about the idea, the concept of the book. But I don't want it, completely like that size. So anyway, I measured and I just used my little mat here, and 3 inches is good. So I cut it at 3.5. Or I didn't cut it. I wrote it down at 3.5. I know that these are 4.25. So that's 3.5 plus, and I wrote it on scrap paper. 3.5 plus 4.25 plus 4.25 equals 12. So I added a 1/2 inch. So that means the strip of paper cards, I'm using chipboard. I happen to have chipboard that's like 16 inches long. So I went ahead and cut mine, mostly because I needed it on the big paper cutter, and I'm not bringing that in here. So like I said, I added up all of my measurements, and that's how long I made my cover. You can make it as wide as you want. I happen to like this size. You could, of course, you could do it bigger. I wouldn't go smaller than this, and what I chose on this was about 2 3/4. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of just get these over here. They're gonna avalanche. I know that. I'm gonna take. Actually, I'm gonna take one of the small ones, so I don't have to fight that too much. And I want this to have a little bit of an overhang. And so I will mark this. And then I said I was going to do a 3.5 inch spine. So I guess I could just use the ruler. Duh. So I'm going to go with well, I didn't measure this right.
Uh-oh.
Way off. Way off. I don't know. Okay, let's start here and just keep going.
I'm going to need about a 15-inch length.
I know what I did. So 4.25, and I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger. Just a little past 4.25 because I wanted to. And it's okay. It's I don't know what I was thinking I was measuring, but I wasn't measuring right at all. As you can see from my little marks, maybe you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and just draw this line just to make sure I'm in the, general vicinity. Now I'll measure 3.5. No, let's take this same exact measurement, and I'm just going to mark it on my ruler. And we're going to come from this end, and I still seem to have it way off, but maybe not. It just seems smaller. It's not. My husband standing behind me, so I will say my calibrated eye just can't get it. That's a joke, and I hope he got it. But he walked on out the door, so I'm not sure.
I don't
So
have a piece of cardboard that big right now.
I didn't hear you.
I don't have a piece of cardboard that big right now. I'm
Okay,
looking
so
at it.
if you don't have one long enough, do from like here to here, or overlap it like
Yeah, yeah.
so that they overlap in the middle a little bit, and that'll be fine. Okay, so I have this mark. Let's hope it's okay. I'm going to use my paper cutter to score because I don't feel real secure in that ruler today. Get my cutting blade out, and I'm just going to line up my mark that I made,
Oh,
the groove in my paper cutter, and I'm going to score. And then I'm going to come down here and do the same thing. And it didn't score real good, but I hope it scored enough. So this will be the book cover. And actually, it could have been longer. I could have scored this a little shorter, but I'm okay with this. I'm okay with it. It'll look cool. So I ended up with a little fatter than I wanted. It's fine, but that'll just make me have to finish it. So
so
now,
how? What? Sorry, Jean. Um, how did you? How wide is it? Like, I know it's lengthwise, but that, yeah. How tall did?
it's mine is probably really close to 2 3/4.
Okay, I'm gonna do mine 3 inches.
Of course, Kim, be belligerent, go against the system.
Well, you know what? Because this is just ludicrous. This mess here. I'm gonna share because this is ludicrous. I think I need a little bit additional
Yes.
because see,
I'm just giving you a hard time.
I know, but oh my goodness.
So
Sorry.
now we're going to cover it. Now, I may have had chipboard long enough, but I don't have cardstock long enough or paper or any of that stuff. So I've used this in one of the signatures, and I've been decided that this is going to be it. And see, it doesn't quite cover it. So what I'm going to do is I am going to fold it in half. And I am going to cut it down. And I'm going to just glue this on here, just like I would any other book I'm covering. I'll go ahead and trim that down. If I can see my mark. I already screwed up from what my original plan was.
Uh-oh.
That's okay. That's okay. I was going to wrap it around so I didn't have to do the other side. But I can make that work. I can make that work. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to explain what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to do it. How's that sound?
Okay.
Um, I'm going to take these for the outside, which is how it's folded, and I'm going to put them on like I would normally cover any signature cover. And then I'm going to take some black and go through the center, and it'll kind of look like it's got its own little spine thingy dilly there. But because I was going to wrap it around so the inside could be the same, I'm going to take these two pieces and go ahead and glue them on and then trim them down so that the inside is done already. And that way, no, I don't want to do that either. Never mind. Because then I have to cover my edges. I forgot about that. So I am just gonna go crazy and glue the heck out of this. And I don't care if I'm putting more glue on it than I need because that makes it look better. So I'm just going to put it here where there's enough to overlap. Trying to be straight. I'm going to check because, hey, my paper's striped. So I can check just to see how straight it is. So I'm going to burnish that really, 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 really good. And I like the heat of my hand. I don't know that it really makes a big difference, but in my mind it does. And, you know, my mind is my most important tool. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it slowly, especially while the glue is wet, so you get more of a stretch and you won't get the cracks that you sometimes get. And now, granted, when you come back and open it out, you still get that little bump, but most of the time it's going to be open, you know, kind of like that or all the way closed. So now I'm going to miter my corners. And I have one of those fancy little tools, but I don't use it. And I think I'm going to go ahead and cut right here at a little bit of an angle just to kind of make that work in. And so I'm going to have glue all over my mat because I forgot to bring in some paper. That's okay. You know why? Because it's all washable. So I'm going to bring this over.
So you're just covering yours with paper, not fabric?
No, I thought about fabric, but I had this rainbow paper and it needed to be used up on this book. It just had to be. It was like a rule or something. And again, I'm just going to go ahead and, you know, slowly move this so it knows where it's supposed to turn and bend and not rip because this is a heavier paper. And then I'll take this one and do the same exact thing. I'm going to check to see which way the stripes are going. Because I do kind of want them to match up. I think they'll match up, sort of. Needs to come this way just a smidgen. And I'll test them to make sure they're straight. I would, that's kind of cool. I'm going to use striped book covers from now on because, man, that makes it just perfect fit. You know, you can tell whether it's the way you want it or not. And I don't think I needed to make that little slit there. And if I did, it probably should have just been straight up with the seam. So that's what I'm going to do this time. Not the seam, the fold. I'm going to go ahead and bend all this over. And then fold this in so these have their direction they want to go. So there is basically our cover. Now all we have to do is the inside. And I need to cut this off by that right there. And I am going to take.
Are you using glue stick?
I am. I almost always use a glue stick.
Okay. Well, I've got that new glue stick that's for super strong stuff. I'm going to drag that out and see if it works for me.
Okie dokie. I usually use a different kind of glue stick, but this is what was handy. So I'm lining this up with my little mark. I'm cutting them both at the same time. And now I'm just gonna, wonder if I turn them. Nope, they're never gonna match up with this, but that's okay. It's fine. I didn't intend them to. I mean, I think it'll look cool. So I'm just gonna glue this down really, 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 really well. See, to me, I know a lot of people don't like glue sticks, and I get that. But it's all about the amount you put on there. Just be very generous and burnish. That's probably the number one thing right there is burnishing it. And like I said, somewhere I've seen something where somebody said heat helped. So I usually go back and do that to get the heat. I don't know. Does it help? I don't know. Now my fold is pretty stiff. So I might want to take bone folder, scissors, ink pen, whatever it is you want to score with, and just kind of help that one along. And I'm doing it very slow because one, the glue is still wet, or not wet, but you know, wet enough. And it helps the paper stretch. I took one of my bracelets off so y'all didn't have to hear my little charm clanging on there. This is my Friends Forever charm that my granddaughter bought her and I.
Well, it's not quite as pretty as jeans, but you know what? It's getting there.
So now I have the gap, and all I'm going to do with this is, I know that this gap inside is a lot less, so it doesn't matter, but I still have to, you know, do the edges there so it looks right. So this is approximately 3 3/4. That gap is approximately 2 inches. So I think I'm going to cut it 2.5 inches. And I got a whole sheet of black cardstock. So if I screw it up, I'm okay. So we'll cut this at 2.5 inches. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to come right here in the middle of it. And I'm going to fill it with glue. And I'm going to put this carefully on. Oh, it got dirty from my glue mess. I didn't even think of. That's all right. I'll get it off. So I'm going to visually center that. I think I can do that. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and burnish that down. And now I'm going to fold this over, and I can tell that I don't need let's kind of get an idea. One goes almost all the way. So if I just take,
oops.
Now I'm tearing this because it's easier than trying to cut it with scissors, and I'm not putting it in the paper cutter. It's too much gold. It'll be fine.
I'm playing along.
Let's see yours, Kim.
Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. I'm covered in glue.
Okay, I just put glue on this, and when I do something that is covering a fold, I fold it up around it and try to, squish and smooth it out.
So I did have rainbow fabric, and of course my lines don't necessarily match because it was one bit of fabric. I cut it in half, and I didn't have enough to make them match, but that's okay because I too am going to be putting something down here because I didn't have quite enough to join it. I got just barely enough over the edges, so I am just on the point where I've flipped it over and I'm putting the excess down. I had to use 2 pieces of this. What I had was this like cardboard, cardstock kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
slide tray things. So I cut it into 3-inch strips. I've got an extra one. Don't know why I folded it, but I did because just in case I wanted to go around and around and around. So,
so now all I do is I'm just gluing these parts down so that I am matching up. Hopefully it didn't quite match up. I must not have tore it straight, cut it straight, whatever. That's okay. It's fine.
Well, mine is a cover and it's all over creation.
So there is the cover of my book. I'm going to work these folds down.
I think that's going to end up being the front because these lines are a little bit straighter than these ones. So that's going to be the back.
So if I take this and I get all my signatures, there's my book. And I can tell you right now, I don't like this one on the front of the red one. It was intended to be the front, but I'm going to find one that I like better to put on the front. And I think it's this one.
So that's going to be my book. 950 inches wide. Get in there. So I still have room, but it's still going to be a real gator mouth, whatever. Chunky monkey.
Yeah.
Chunky monkey junkie journal.
See, I switched my red and I really like this so much better.
Oh, good.
So what you're going to do is take a piece of scrap paper and make your template top hole thingy.
Oh. I have to do the inside of my cover yet, but I can do that after because I have to follow along with what you're doing. Okay, so
I'm going to use a piece of cardstock. Actually, because I cut 2, I'm going to use this little piece of cardboard. So this is the easiest. I mean, anybody who's ever done a signature, this shouldn't be a problem. Getting my needle out. One of several that I grabbed. So I'm going to do, what I have here is some pearl cotton or something, I don't know. And it all depends upon how much string you want hanging out on the outside edge. And I'm going to go to the center of my signature, line it all up. And what I did isn't going to work. So I can't remember what I did. I mean, this is a great template to know where to poke my holes, but because all of my signatures are different heights, let me work on this a minute here. Red, orange, yellow, green. I want my cover to be as centered as possible.
And make sure you've got your pages right way round, guys. So that all your pockets are at the bottom, if that's the way you want it.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. This is where I want my book cover to write on the book. And I'm going to take all these signatures away so I don't have to hold that, and I want it right there. And I'm going to get my ruler. No, I'm not. I'm going to get this little piece of cardboard, and I'm going to measure. Right there, which may or may not work. And it's not really going to work. Let's redo this. We'll get there. We will get there. Okay, that's where I want it. So I'm going to measure. And I said it wouldn't work because I love the metal ruler, but it doesn't go clear to the end. And sometimes I use it right, and sometimes I forget. So I'm going to go with this cheap old plastic one here, which is the same way. Dagnabbit. That's okay. No, it's not okay. So this is my mark. I know that when I get ready to make my signature and put it in there, okay, I've got mine the way I want it. I'm going to pop them all to where they're all even on the bottom, because like I said, I intend for mine to be open and spread out. So I want my bottom even, the top and sides, I don't care. So I have this little mark right here that it's my first hole. Perfect. So that little mark I put on the cardboard. And use it, you can measure however you want. That's my little mark. I'm going to poke my first hole. And I know I brought a hole poker out here. There we go. I'm going to poke my first hole with that mark. So I've got my first hole in the signature. Now I'm going to take the other half of the cardboard, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to poke my second hole. It's kind of illusion kind of here, because there's more down here than here, so I keep thinking it's wrong. So we're hoping it's not. If it's easier for you to clamp your signature together while you're doing it, that's another good idea. So I cut my red, and I'm going to take my thread or my needle. I just threw that needle across the room.
Oh, hope you're not barefoot.
No, it's still on the table. And I'm going to go ahead and thread that. I should have took Kim's advice and waxed this because
I did. I took my regular crochet cotton, just this beige stuff that I've got more things than I need. I was supposed to do a tablecloth for somebody, and they changed their mind after I bought like 30 balls of this 20 odd years ago. And I still have probably 20 of them. So
so
I sorry.
I have my holes poked, but I'm making sure they're still in line. I'm coming from the outside in. Nope, I was right. Crap.
I thought you had yours tied on the outside, so you would
I
come
do
from
have
the
it tied
outside.
on the outside. Maybe I wasn't as prepared today as I thought I was going to be.
Me too. Okay,
So
so I used crayons on all mine, so this is the red one that I did.
I'm going to pull out my string. Now, I'm going to hope and pray I got it in the right spot. Let's see which side looks better to me. They look exactly the same. So I'm going to take my book cover, and it is the front, even though I'm tying it clear down here. I'll pull it up here so I don't confuse anybody. And I'm going to take this, I'm going to take that clamp off. That's just a little extra weight. And I'm tying this. This is a good time if you had an extra hand. And you want to tie that pretty tight.
I'm going to use my thread doubled. And I didn't make my marks for where I need my signature to be.
So there is my first signature tied on. I can add beads to this. I can cut them short. I'm not going to do anything right now because I don't know what I want to do. So then we'll go with the orange, tapping everything to the bottom. It doesn't matter on the orange which one is on the front because you don't see the front as the book is open. So I'm going to take my little piece here, and actually I'm going to make this a little bit easier to use. I'm going to cut it. So it is exactly what I need. So this tells me that my first stitch is this far. From the bottom. And then any other piece that I have here will work. My next hole is at the end of this piece of cardboard because it's the same size as my cover / spine. And that one's slipped. It's okay.
Mine's just a little smaller than, like, I've got just a hair's width almost short on my holes. I am not going to change them because, why? Because,
It should be just fine.
yeah. See, it didn't come right out on the spine either. I'm just a little bit over. It's okay. It's perfectly fine.
My needles are magnetized. Can you see that? I have 2 of them right here. In my art room, I have this little drawer, little cabinet of metal drawers right to the left of me. So I put a big magnet on the front of it, and that's where I keep my needles on a regular basis, so I don't have to mess with them. Okay, again, I'm going to come through my hole, which is a little on the front. It's all good. You know why? It's handmade.
The back. It's the back.
I cut way more than I needed.
Me too, but I like dangly things. I might even put some braid on it or whatever.
So I'm going to take this off. Okay, we have the red on our front, and our next one is our orange.
See, I didn't finish this. It's okay. I'm following along with Jean and getting the idea of what I need to do.
So I line it up the way it's supposed to be. And the good thing about leaving them long is having that extra string to tie it.
Ooh, that's gonna be fun.
So I'm tying it pretty tight.
And I like it that little bit long because some of my signatures have tabs. So I'm not bothering cutting mine or adjusting my edging cover thing. Cover. That's it.
Yeah.
Cover yet.
So there's the orange. And as you can tell, my two oranges and my two signatures are two different heights. That's okay, because when it's all open, you're going to see all this messiness up here. And that's when I'm probably going to go do more stuff to my journal, because then I can make that messy even messier.
Yep.
So I'm going to go with the yellow next.
Needle. Thread it with the orange. Goodness. Oh, put this cap on the glue. Why aren't you guys telling me this? Hey, Stacey May, welcome, welcome. We are doing our rainbow journals. Jean's teaching us how to bind them and do the covers for them. It's a very cool concept. So, because it's a rainbow journal, we're starting with red. My cat's ears are bent. I have to do something about those cat ears.
My yellows all lined up. Going to use my little how far from the bottom and poke my hole. Now you could measure this and, follow all the right way. But my little pieces of cardboard work just as good for me. Get my holes.
Can't even thread a stinking needle today, guys. It's
poor
raining.
My poor awl has glue on it, so it's not wanting to cooperate.
Oh, see, I'm not using
I don't know how many awls I have, and they're all messy. That's okay. If you can't get into it up to your elbow, is it really worth doing?
No. Did you see me making those monsters? My goodness.
I didn't. I need to go back and do that, or get a private lesson.
I was so covered in paint, Jean. It was hilarious. I was so mucky. I tell you. Okay, that's the bottom.
I had to do an artist statement one time, and that was one of my quotes that I used. If you can't get into it up to your elbows, it's not worth doing.
That's right. I agree with you 100%.
So I'm going to tie my yellow one on. Always making sure you got the right way. Not that it's a big deal, because if I tied it on wrong, I could probably work it off. Yeah. Now, because I have two pieces here, I don't want to drag across that. I'd have to come this way. And that reminds me, I better get that so it's where it's supposed to be.
Wow, have I got a mess. My goodness. Do what Jean's doing. Don't do what I'm doing.
And see, mine's actually a smidgen short of what my spine is. And I think that helps a lot too. Okay, I'm going to tie my knot.
Right. So put that in the
And I
crevice.
can tell you right now it went too loose. But I haven't pulled it tight. So
Yes, I need this.
my handy little awl and I are going to make that work.
Oh, do it level.
A little bench vise might have helped here.
Pardon?
A little bench vise. They just want to rock and roll.
Yeah.
Okay, we're down to the green. Distinguish the top and the bottom. My green isn't quite finished yet either.
Oh, I had so much fun decorating these. And then,
We should have just done half a rainbow, maybe.
well, no. No, we're good. All's good.
You
It's,
know, the problem is we see too many different ideas, or one thing leads to another.
oh,
And so it's like we don't
we-
finish. I mean, we might finish it, but we already have something else we want to try, and it's fresh in our mind. And let's go, go, go. 'Cause
yeah,
you know how we did the zines last week,
yeah,
and you know how I like that watercolor doodle stuff that I do.
yeah.
I took watercolor paper, folded it, taped the edges, and I'm doing one in my watercolor doodles too.
Nice.
If you remind me when we're done, I'll go. It's just in the other room. I'm still working on it. I can show you.
I would love to see. Well, I did finish mine. I sent it to you.
Yes, I've seen it.
So I am going to read the Why Did the Chicken Cross the Road jokes to our poor audience. Because I can. Uh oh. Uh oh. There we go. What are you caught on? Stop it. Move. Thank you. Oh, see, this fabric didn't glue down nice. It's making a mess.
Good thing I looked because I almost sewed this in upside down. And the good thing about this is if I can tell that my yellow is looser than I want it to be. It's just got a little more give in it. When I get the others on there, if I feel like it's still too loose, it's just a little piece of thread. It's not a big um, sit and sew all day kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Be a real easy fix. And the more signatures you get in here, the easier it is to hold everything in place and tie.
She's lying. I have 2 signatures. I think it's upside down. Nope. Yep. That's the front. That's the front. Look, I bent the cat's ears again. Had it upside down. Did I put that in upside down? Nope.
You know what's really cool? I don't have these done, so it doesn't matter how they go in.
Well, yellow. I'm all the way done up to the green. The blue and the purple are not anywhere near done, but I will attach them and I will finish them. And maybe next Friday, with luck, I'll have them done and we could do a flip through. Do a flip through Friday, but we could do our zines today for sure.
I'm not 100% sure I'm going to get mine done because this next week is the auction for the disabled artists.
Right.
And that means I will be shipping out a lot this week
Right.
or next week. And then we go straight into where they go pick their boxes. So
You're busy, yeah.
I tend to do the work and then I'm too tired to do the fun stuff. I'm
Yeah.
working on that. I really am. But I do try to stop at 5, and then it all depends upon what I find on TV if I feel like watching TV. And if I do, then I might work on something or I might fall asleep in front of the TV.
That works. That
Yeah.
works. Now, for some reason, my yellow one is nowhere near as fat as these ones. My green one, though, is. No, it's not. Oh, see? So I already started slacking come the yellow. But
I
I
love
can
that,
go
right?
back and add stuff, guys. Because this isn't for sale. This is just going to be for me. Not that I sell my journals.
So I'm down to the blue.
You're down to the blue. I'm on the yellow. I'm on yellow. Two, six.
For some
Yellow actually
reason,
has 8 pages. What? What? Shh. Don't know what I was thinking.
yeah, I noticed one of mine had 4, all the rest have 5, and I thought, that's okay. It was supposed to be that way.
Well, you know what? I don't think it really matters.
Mm-mm. My orange is so tight it snaps like a drum.
Yeah,
The
mine does
others,
not.
not so much.
Mine are pretty loose, but that's okay because I want them to be able to flow that little bit, if that makes
Uh
sense.
huh. Okay, so we'll do the purple now.
But those of you who haven't done a journal, this way of doing the spine, what a breeze!
It is.
It's
And
lovely.
my first one, well, actually, the other two I've done have both been done, um, put the signatures in, but I left room, and the really cool part is like there's only 3 that's not done in here.
Yeah,
But there's still room once those are done that if I felt like it wasn't full enough with, say I squished it together and it wasn't full enough, I could still cut another signature and put it in.
you
This is
could.
kind of a forgiving thing.
It is. Hey, Pam, welcome, welcome. I hope your day's going fabulous too. I noticed that you were doing your Friday sews this morning. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I'm gonna. We are doing these wonderful journals that Jean has showed us how to do. And so we're just putting them together. I think I need like a big clamp for this. Goodness. You know what? I've got big clamps,
I'm really
but
glad I
they're
brought
not big.
several needles in here.
Pardon?
I'm glad I brought a couple of needles in here because I think I've used 3 different ones. After stuff gets spread out a little bit, you just kind of lose things.
Yep. Okay. So I'll just do it over here. And of course, I'm going to put beads and all kinds of blingy things on these strings after. Because I can. Whoop. That's going to be loose. Nope. Tight. Almost. It's okay. I don't know, Jean. I think mine is far too big. Oh, that cat's here too. But see, I have to take mine all apart after because I haven't finished my cover yet. So I'm just getting the signatures tied on so that I can finish them. Oh, then what was it that I was watching? I saw something it messaged me that you were on.
So there's my book.
Wow, Jean, I like it.
And I have plenty of room, more than enough room, and it still goes open like I want it to when I do it. There's the back with all the stringies. They're not even where you, if you want them in a row, you just pull them in a row. It's, actually, this is the way it goes. There's stuff sticking out the bottom, but that's the stuff I paper clipped in to help give me a little bit of thickness in my signatures for measurement purposes. And of course, as you can see, my yellow is so short. Let's get my orange over just a little bit, which is right on the seam of the black, so it's being a little belligerent.
Somebody's messaging ya.
Yes, it's a stupid prescription I've been trying to get refilled, and they've sent me the information 3 times that that they'll ask for a refill from my doctor, and you would think they would have already done that. You know, I've done it 3 times. Okay, there we go. Plenty of room. In fact, I could put black and white at the front and the back if I wanted to. Now, as far as this goes, everything I've done so far, I just like these by themselves. There's, a word, a quote, title of the book, something like that, maybe. I don't really have anything in mind. Not that I won't come up with something, at some point. And then the inside's done. Again, you can decorate this how you want. So it's totally up to you on what you do from here, or if you don't do anything. Now, I think that it would be really cool to poke a hole right here and put in an eyelet, or not, and then have your string so you can tie it shut if you wanted to tie it.
I think that's what I'm going to end up doing because mine is going to go on a shelf someplace.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So, it's you tie beads on here, you got a pretty side here. You tie this together and you have sticky outies, you have a pretty side there. The top is pretty. The front is pretty. Actually, the front of the book is the least favorite part of mine. So, anyway, that's how I did it. I hope that y'all will try this. I think it's really cool. I like the concept. I do kind of feel this is a little bit big for this book, so it might get, that extra signature that covers all the colors, black and white. I don't know. And it may not. By the time I get these done, and even if you don't want to take these out, look at how good they still lay to work in them. And there's a little give in the turquoise, in the blue one too. And that's okay, because it's not done either. The only thing I can suggest, other than what we've covered, is if you're putting a piece on this like that, you might want to make sure that whatever you tie doesn't have to slide over them too much, to get back on.
Well, once mine are on and once it's all done, they're going to stay there. But I have to get everything to that point. If that makes sense?
Yep. I don't mind working in these in the book either. In fact, it is kind of awkward for me to do them outside of the book, except this little one. This little one wasn't easy.
I think that I will not enjoy working on them in the book. In fact, I may even undo strings and take them apart to finish them. Because I do all this little doodling and stuff, and I want to get right into the edges, and
Yeah,
so
makes sense.
so I don't think that. But this goes together so nice and fast this way.
It really does. I think it's an extremely fast book.
Well, the binding is fast. The books themselves, not so much. Uh-oh, I'm way
Well,
off.
it just depends upon what you want. Chose a theme, so that kind of took a lot of that. You
Yeah,
know, I my these two the prototypes I made. It took about 2 hours to put them together, start to finish,
yeah.
pages and everything. Now, granted, it's going to be easy to work in this now. Will it be when it's full? I don't know. And then again, this might be a great gift for someone with a bunch of papers and just, collage these in however you want, decorate this. In Defy, we do a lot of UFO auctions, and this might become a UFO for somebody else to purchase and finish. So it's got lots of potential.
I've made a
And because it's
big mess.
empty, it's got lots of room. Now, the little guy here, I'm going to finish this one because I have too many stickers that need to be used up. And I really, really like this with the stickers.
Hate when I have to go back page by page and put it together because I wasn't careful.
Uh-oh. Now, if you have where I took this little piece of cardboard to measure where my first hole needs to be. If you cut a piece, if your signatures are consistent in size, you cut a piece of paper here and you mark it with where your holes are supposed to be, then you wouldn't need to do all that little extra that I did. But it wasn't hard at all. Another thing you could do is you could um, do the 3-hole pamphlet and come right through this. That the pages will no longer be able to come, signatures be able to come out, but it would still be really cool to do it that way too. And, or even if you just wanted to do 2 holes in here and sew it onto there, there's so many potentials. I think what appealed to me the most was not a full cover. I think that was what was the part I liked.
I am so bad at making covers. Oh, my covers are just nasty. I don't think I have ever done a cover that I've liked.
Yeah,
Ever.
I really liked just doing that, you know.
So I think
It
this
lets
is,
it all be contained, but it doesn't have to be so biggie.
yeah.
There's there's no such thing as too many stickers. I have more stickers than I tend to use. Let's rephrase that. Yeah, that's how it is. I tend to forget about them because they're in a drawer.
Those darn drawers, I tell you.
No kidding. Let me grab my zine real quick.
Okay. 2 more, guys. Sorry if I'm boring you. I'm slow. But it's coming together, like, so far.
Looks good. So I didn't use tape that I liked very well. It was a inexpensive washi tape, and of course I was too impatient and had to pull off the tape to see what I'd done so far, if I make sure I liked it. But this is, and it's done on watercolor paper.
Oh, that's pretty.
I think I'm going to really like it. And the fun thing, if I don't, I have pretty much everything I need to make some ATCs.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
I've enjoyed this a lot. It was a pain in the butt to fold because watercolor paper doesn't want to fold well.
Yeah.
And I could have used something else, but I didn't want to take any chance on warping, and I wanted to tape it off, and tape pulls off of watercolor paper better than other kinds of paper.
Cool. I really like it.
I like it too.
I really like it. Okay. I finished my zine that we started last week, and it's Why Did the Chicken Cross the Road? Because she was social distancing, because it was free range, to balk traffic. The road betrayed it first. To stretch her legs, it was an excellent idea. To avoid all these jokes. So I had fun doing my little Why Did the Chicken Cross the Road book.
Cool.
So, yeah, I could go a little bit crazier and do some additional doodles and stuff in it, but I'm going to consider this zine complete. So, now I have a question. I did copy it on my printer,
Uh-huh.
and it didn't. What didn't it do? It didn't go full size sheet. So, this one, if I folded it, would be smaller than this one, right?
Yes.
So anyway, I am.
If you wanted to fold it without trimming it, you could doodle all around those white edges too.
I could.
See, that's something I'm contemplating with this one.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the framed look. I really do. That's just like my new thing. But it
Yeah.
would be cool if I just did line doodles, simple lines or something,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I'm not done yet. And it's possible this washi tape isn't going to hold up and those lines may come off and be there when I don't want them there. And,
Right.
that could still happen for some of them.
Yeah.
And it's a zine. You don't see all the pages at once. So it's
That's
okay.
right. That's right. But that's cute. I really like that. I love the colors. See,
I did too. It was fun.
Belinda suggested I glue the monsters down onto the black. So that's what I've done. So they're going to be like my paper dolls, and I'm going to cut them out individually. But this one, I figured she would be so great just coming across a page or coming out from behind a pocket. Like I've got a few that when I did the blind painting, I went all the way to the edge. So I don't know if I'm going to leave black around that and then trim it if that's what I want to do, or how I'm going to do like
Hmm.
that one.
I
But
like that three-legged green one there. She has attitude.
you know what? I had way too much fun with these. Way too much fun. And I have a stack more that I did that still need to be doodled on. But I had to work on the signatures before I
So
could.
when you did your paint blobs, were you thinking they were going to be monsters?
Yes. No. What I did was I had little scraps of paper all ready to rock. Then I took a big ugly paintbrush and I put it through a plate. And then I scribbled on the paper. And then a monster journal or something. Um, so then I had all these, I've got some here that I haven't used yet. They were like this kind of thing. So then I would look
Oh,
at it and figure, because you can see the way that the uh, paint
that's a
strokes went and stuff.
yeah, that's a ballerina monster.
I don't know what it's going to be yet, but so I would look at the way the strokes went and things, and then I did the
Yeah,
eyes
I'm gonna
and the
have to go
mouth,
back and watch that.
and I just doodled around the paint to make it look like something. But yeah, I've been having far too much fun with that. But
Well,
I've
then
got
that's
quite the
what you need to
collection.
work on.
Pardon?
That's what you need to work on.
Yeah, I'm not
Do
sure.
what we like.
Ballerina. But I mean, a couple of them, yeah, they've got ties or, bows and whatever, but none of them really have clothes or shoes. I can go back and add so much to them. But the very first monster one that we did was a 4 hour stream. Like, we just got right carried away.
Wow.
It was, that was fun.
Belinda Belinda thought a ballerina monster was good too. I don't know. I could already see its eyes in there, and then that one part poking out was like
On
dainty
point.
ballerina. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. It just may be. You never know what I'm going to do. This one. So, yeah. Anybody got exciting plans for the weekend? Wearing a tutu? I could do a tutu.
I need
Okay.
to I need to make up for being sick for almost 2 weeks and get some stuff done.
Ugh. Yeah, that was a long haul for you with that.
Yeah, I'm still fighting it a little bit. I think I'm into the allergies bothering me right now. Leaves
Oh,
are falling and all that stuff.
yeah.
So
Oh, totally missed. Big mess in the middle there. Yeah. See, I'm not following Gene's suggestion and going back making sure it's even. If I did that, then I wouldn't have a big mess over there. Maybe.
that sounds like fun. Jelly print yourself silly.
Yeah. I did some painty papers, like gel prints, the other day, so haven't really. I've got so many projects on the go. I need to finish something. So at least I did the zine. All those monsters need to be cut out, but I've got
Linda
other things I want.
Belinda asks me what this is. This is Eileen's tacky glue. I got it at Hobby Lobby. It's got a pretty fine point. Comes out real easy.
Oh, that's
And it
lovely.
kind of like self seals, and you can't get the lid only goes on one way, so you know when it's right. I don't
See,
know. I'm hoping it's easy to refill. I did look at that part, and that's pretty darn tiny. Maybe I won't be able to get it off right now. Yeah, I'm gonna. There we go. Get away from this just in case it spills. See, it's a pretty small hole.
See, what Ron does is he takes an old mustard bottle and he fills that with glue, and that's what he uses for refilling my stuff. Because a
Oh,
mustard bottle has such a nice narrow opening that it works perfectly for refilling my glues and
I
things.
gotta show you what I made with a mustard bottle.
Okay.
It's not like I planned, but it's getting there.
Well, folks, I can tell you these ones that I haven't embellished and stuff and stuffed and everything are much easier to put in than the ones that are full of stuff.
So I took paper pulp and used the mustard thing to make me something lacy. It really was intended to be finer detailed, but it just really, really um, wasn't. So I played with it again, and this one's still on the decal, but it is probably ready to be taken off. Let's try it this way. I made my husband go up in the attic and get down all of my paper making stuff, which I know has to have been there for a very long time. And I have all the decals to make handmade paper and none of the molds that go on top. So this one is a lot finer. You can tell a big difference. But this one, when I did this one, I squirted it out and then I took this little tool, which is a like a cheese spreader thing, and I swished it into the shapes I wanted. I mean, I kind of outlined them. What did I learn from this one to this one? Less water is actually better. I thought it would make it thinner and go where you wanted it, but it doesn't. But I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but it sure was fun to play.
Those would be lovely if you glued them down onto another piece of paper, almost like a texture, and then you could doodle in the holes
Oh, yeah.
or something like that.
You're right. Eileen's tacky glue is thick, but this is not crazy thick. I was really surprised. I probably won't fill it with tacky glue because what I've got in the way of tacky glue is older, and maybe that's why it seems thicker. This doesn't seem so bad, but it's also new. So,
Yeah, my tacky glue is really old and it just kills me to try and squeeze the bottles. Like,
yeah, I'm
brutal.
thinking I'll probably just fill it with good old Elmer's.
Yeah. Well, this is the last one, and this poor journal. mm,
But yours is so much more rainbowy on top, I think, than mine looks.
I don't know.
Got to hold mine just right. I think it's because a lot of the papers I chose are not, they're not double sided or not solid colors, so there's a lot more whites, maybe. And
Could be.
it looks rainbowy here, but not so much here.
Uh-oh. That's
Or here.
So this is how it would be. And the blue and the purple aren't done. Can you see that?
Yeah.
A little bit carried away.
So maybe
No.
this is going to be a doorstop.
Yeah, it's going to be something. So yes, I will definitely want to put something to hold it a little bit more closed, more, because we got yeah, people aren't going to be able to write in it or anything. It's just definitely going to be I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, my first one I did, I made the signatures. This one this one has a lot of room for embellishing yet, but I still want to keep it simple. And this one I might just put some pockets in and nothing in it, and maybe just use it in one of the Defies options maybe. I don't know.
This
I don't know.
probably weighs a pound, pound and a half. I bet you anything, and it's not done.
If my granddaughter sees this, she's going to latch onto it. I
That's
gave her
awesome.
I gave her my tiny little die cut machine that only does like 3 inches, you know.
Yeah,
Then I went through all my dies and found her some fun things, and she cuts out these things and puts them in books.
nice,
So
nice, nice. Well, with this, obviously because it's not really solid, like this is really flimsy. I'm going to have to put some additional stability on these because, mind you, then they could kind of come around and tie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But when it's done, I will definitely do a flip through.
Cool.
But this spine, like I say, this side is doubled because I overlapped, right? So one side is much firmer than the other, so it's got an extra bend in it already. Yeah, it's okay. I will make for the fixing, and I'm not done yet, guys. Just not done yet.
We always make it work.
We
And that's
do.
that's the fun thing is it's just paper.
It is. It is.
So if you
Definitely.
don't like it, add more to it, take more away from it, paint it, color it, doodle it, cut it up and make it something else.
That's right.
You can always tear it up and blend it up and make paper.
I can. I can. Something. It's going to be done. And while I've got everybody here, just a heads up, a reminder that when I reach 250, this baby's going to get put in a draw for a lucky winner. Little
Don't,
jewelry
don't worry
box.
about putting anybody's name in. It's going to be me that you pull.
I've had a couple of people say that. So I don't know who's going to get it, but it's going to go when I reach 250.
I seen something the other day that I think your husband needs to make.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know how I sent you that picture of the thing that you hung off your arm for your ball of
Yeah.
wool?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this was for a macrame place, and it was like um, this block of wood with sides, and then it had a groove for a dowel in it, and you could put your macrame cord, which is more of a hardcore.
Yeah.
It has, yeah, and then you just pull off of it and use it like that. I was like,
Like a paper
I
towel
could
roll on.
almost do that, you know?
Well, that's like my thread holders for my thread, right?
Yeah,
That, but in a larger size. That
yeah.
could be a cool idea. Well, right now he is busy. What is he doing? I got him to make, where is this? These. He wasn't very happy because these are little and they're piddly, but I really wanted things that look like studs or chocolate chips. But if I glue them down and paint them silver, they'll be like little studs.
Uh
So
huh.
he made me some little wooden things that I could use to look like studs. And then because my grandson and his girlfriend both want to learn to use the lathe, he's coming up with different things for them to learn to do. So he's been making spinning tops. We do wooden spinning tops.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been doing those. So I've got more of those upstairs in the bin. And he did, well, you've seen the mushroom. There's something else he just brought me, and I can't remember what it was. It's here someplace. Don't know where it is. And I can't remember what it is because I was focusing on something else and kind of listened. But
He really needs to make a lathe video. I can sit and watch lathe videos for hours.
we've been deciding how it would be best to do that. Um, I want to try using my phone for that because I don't think my tablet. I don't know if my tablet's going to be good enough. Um, so yeah, we've been thinking about the lighting and that kind of stuff for it. He's definitely going to do that this winter. Some of that this winter. But right now he's working on wrapping burlap around trees. My daughter brought me 4 cherry bushes, and the rabbits have already pruned them, so they have to get wrapped like now.
Yeah.
And
Okay, Kim. I'm going to have to tell you a little story here
Okay.
that you have rubbed off on me.
Oh no.
Okay, so I was just sitting here, and this was right up here,
Yeah,
and so I'm going to tell you what I see. This is a dragon,
it is.
and he's holding something kind of reminds me of a little dog. I think this is probably the tree that he's sitting on. Over here is a little poodle. There's their head, their legs, and their frou-frou haircut, sitting on some type of bird.
Yeah.
There's its wings, but this could be a peacock, or this could be a peacock.
Oh yeah.
See, I see all these little animals and creatures in here.
Yeah. Do it. Do it.
Oh, writing on handmade paper is not easy.
No, you'll have to paint it with acrylic or
Yeah.
give it a what is that? Like a matte medium or something.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
use that don't use that Mod Podge stuff. I ruined that book and I haven't fixed it yet.
I don't use Mod Podge. It doesn't dry here.
No. And I have these I have to paint yet because I want to hang them in the trees for color this winter. But these ones are going to go for Flood the Streets with Art, the yellow ones, because yellow's the color of hope. So I've got these to do. This is how I used to paint them. I'm not sure that I've only got a couple left from when I was selling them. So these are going to get hung out in the trees for the winter as well. Gotta get rid of that white. So much white out there. Not yet, but soon, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I've got those I've got to finish. Definitely got to get the stuff for Flood the Streets with Art done. Cut out the monsters. Finish these little journal things. I got lots to do. I brought it all on myself.
Yes, we're really good at doing those,
I
bringing
know.
it on ourselves.
I know. And you know what? We influence each other.
We
Oh,
do.
thanks, Cal. Yeah. These I used to sell them when I was doing farmers markets and stuff. So they've got a fishing line in them, so they hang. That's why they're painted on both sides. And a lady came in and she bought all my yellow ones because yellow's the color of hope. And she wanted to hang them in her sister's room who has cancer. So she came back a couple of times. I had to keep doing yellow ones for her. She must have bought about 15, 20 of them by the time I was done. But we've got like these wooden templates. I can use it for cutting out. I'll trace it and cut out on the computer, on the Cricut, so that I've got paper blanks to do them out of. But I definitely, and I've got some of these painted on my dining room wall. I traced them. All the rest of my butterflies on the dining room wall are freehand. But yeah, thanks, Cal. One of my blasts from the past.
Some of my blasts from the past are just too terrible to even think about.
Oh,
Like the days of painting the two geese with the heart between them.
oh, yeah. No, I didn't do those. I did like I don't know, this one isn't painted, but I did some of these. I folk art painted my froofy ducks, right? Like, I don't know, is he going to walk nice under the camera? Let's give him some room. My camera's too low, but he's a marionette.
Uh-huh.
And so I painted them all with like the folk arty flowers and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And like they walk and they dance.
I think my
So
grandson would love one of those.
the problem with these is these strings, if they drop them and they tangle, heaven help us all, they take forever to untangle. Because my kids had these and they walked them everywhere until they dropped them. But yeah, like I've got so much stuff left over, and I did a whole series of the up and down horses. What are they?
Carousel.
That's it. I had a whole series of carousel horse patterns. I can't find them anywhere because I was thinking, oh, wouldn't it be nice to do a carousel journal?
I actually made, when we were doing craft shows, a floor size you could sit on. I mean, I wouldn't because it was decorative, but it was, huge carousel horse.
Nice.
It was quite fun. Belinda says, how often do I post on YouTube? Unfortunately, not nearly enough. If you're subscribed, I'm sure you'll get a notification. I do have one I got to do. It's got to go this week. I was tagged for Tag You're It, and I need to do a video on tags. I kind of have an idea of what I want to do. I just got to drag it all out and do it.
I thought you were going to tag me on that one too.
I am. I just haven't done my video yet. I've been
Aha.
tagged,
Ah,
and then I have to tag somebody, so I will tag you, Kim.
cool.
So,
Cool. Yeah. Well, I've kind of run out of show and tell stuff. My desk is such a mess.
well,
I
I
still
see
haven't
here.
found my tall cats.
Really?
Yeah, there's an envelope of tall cats somewhere in this vicinity because I was building up inventory, right? So I did some cat, like the tabs and the tall cats, and I did some fish and chickens, and I put them in the envelope, and I put it down. You know,
Yep.
it's. I should take a picture of my desk and post it on my Facebook group and go, I spy. We could play I spy. And whoever sees whatever it was that I was talking about, I would send a little envelope of Kimbits. Could that
There
be
you
fun?
go.
Although nobody has yet signed up for our zine swap, Jean. So I don't know
Oh,
how much people are actually into playing on my page. Although the
yeah.
story worked, we had a lot of fun with the story when we
Yeah,
were
that was fun.
doing the story. But yeah, it's we could have a lot of fun. And this, I did when I first started that page. Oh, I'm dropping stuff all over the place, and it's not cats. These are out of Street Color magazine bits, and I started gluing eyeballs on it because I was fixated on eyeballs at the time. But isn't that a cool background? Just solid
Uh-huh.
pieces of paper, and it's shiny because it's glossy. No problem, man. Not a problem.
Yeah, Belinda, Defy really takes up a lot of my time. A
She's
very
very
lot.
busy.
I would say I work at least a 40-hour week.
She does. She's always busy with Defy stuff. She's one of those lovely volunteers that
Yeah.
makes it
But
all
I'm working
worthwhile.
on it. I mean, I'm making myself um my eyes get really tired screen time. And so, I'll take an hour in the middle of the day and go play. And then I come back and I do try to quit between 5 and 6. Um, but there's always something coming up that we gotta prep for or do for. And if you could only see the amount of supplies I have.
Me too. I seriously wish you were closer.
Oh, and it's really funny. It seems like I have a lot, and I may whine about that sometimes. But once I box it up and get it ready and get it sorted and packed together, it's like it goes from 3 boxes to one. I don't know
Yeah,
how it does that. I don't know how it works, but it works every time.
yeah. That's nice. That is nice. Yeah. Well, I really don't have too much more to say. When is the auction, Jean? Is it this? No, it's the
Oh,
second weekend of.
Yeah,
Second
we
Saturday?
it, it'll be the next auction is the second Saturday in November.
And what's the theme of that auction?
Um, let's playtime.
Ooh,
So it's going to cover all kinds of, I mean, playtime. My goodness, that covers everything.
it does. It does. So if any of you guys don't come and watch the auctions, they're a wonderful thing, and you can get some really good stuff at really reasonable prices. Oh, look, Anne mailed you signatures today.
Yay! That's awesome.
Yeah,
I've even stopped making signatures, even though it was fun, because I have two friends here locally that take things off my hands and put them together for me, and that's something that's so easy for them to do. And they don't, it's not some like I had one of them cutting fabric, and she said her hands got really tired, and one can't do a lot of heavy lifting, so signatures is really easy. They do a lot of ribbon cutting too.
yeah. What about like that stuff that I send you? Do you get them to um, cut the pages in half or whatever so that you've got
Yeah,
two? Yeah, perfect.
yeah.
Perfect, perfect.
The one that does a lot, I'll sit down and I'll say, you need three of this and two of these and this cut in half, and then she puts them all together for me. I give
That's
her a full recipe.
nice. Nice, nice. That's perfect. Perfect, perfect.
We're
Did I
gonna
tell you
do
my easy way for making my hole punch flowers? Did you see that one? What I do is I take my hole punch thing and I do it on a book page or whatever, right? And then I can do the flowers on the book page instead of each individual. And then you take your hole punch and you punch it out and it's ready to go.
cool.
Just, I had to share that with you in case I sent you a page of hole punch flowers.
I'm not really sure. I need to print some of those for this next one coming out in, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I get you.
I have the auction, which is um, it's the defies the hardest way to give back.
Yeah,
They can make things, ATCs, decorated paper clips, um, journals, all kinds of things, and they get credits for them, and then they get to come to their very own auction and shop. And that's actually going to start in 30 minutes.
oh,
And I mean, I don't have to be there. It's all online. I don't have to do anything.
yeah,
I just have to, follow through and make sure everybody's doing not spending more than they have and that kind of thing. And this time I had Christmas in mind when I set it up. And I make a lot of kits. I make a lot of kits. And so I decided that I would put a bunch of the kits in the auction. That way they can pick and choose what they get rather than just getting whatever I send them. And some of them there's enough to make two, so you could always make one and use it for a gift. But what a way for them to get the supplies they need to make Christmas gifts for family
right.
members. Everything. Now, they may not always have a video. Some of them do, some of them don't, but they almost always have a picture.
Yeah,
And that fits in our mission to energize through the arts. And sometimes not everybody can work off of a picture, but it's a starting point, and it doesn't have to be just like what I show them. It can be anything. You don't have to do what I do. Just that's what I did, and that's what I'm sharing. You take it, you make it your own.
yeah. Have you had them do something like this? So that's a Christmas ball, just a plastic Christmas ball with a washer glued on the bottom. And then I, this one, like, I did spring kind of thing because I had the flowers, but it's also got a little wooden toothpick with a one of those miniature clothespins. We've got
Oh
a
yeah.
right, and we use them. I did a whole series, and we have them for place settings for Christmas, right at the
Oh yeah,
dinner table. So they've got like holly and berries and all kinds of things like that. A little bit of a ribbon to go, but very simple. And I mean, that would make a nice little kit for
that
them
would
as
be.
well.
That would be.
I mean, I could do a video for you if you want on these and use bits of Christmas stuff. And do you get those little mini uh, clothespins sometimes?
I
You
do
can always use paper
sometimes,
clips.
and I do have. Well, let's put it this way. I had a big box of floral picks for Christmas,
Oh,
and I packed 2 boxes. The hardest get to pick their boxes by what's on the top layer,
yeah,
and I've done 2 Christmas boxes with those in them,
yeah.
and I don't know where I put the rest of them. I
they're
went from
with
a
they're with
bigger
my
box
feral
down to
cats.
I
They're
went to a smaller box with them, but I don't know where I put them.
they're with my skinny cats, wherever
Yeah,
they may be. So yeah. But if you would like, I could do this closer to Christmas or any time that.
um, I probably won't be able to do Christmas with it this year
Okay.
because um, I ship in November and then I don't ship for the rest of the year.
Okay. Okay. Then
So
okay. So that could be on the shelf for next year,
yes,
or I could
definitely.
just do the video and you can put it out whenever. And is it easier for you if I do them in rows like this?
Yes.
Okay. Good. 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 So I'm kind of ready to call it a day. I need to go out and do some work outside if it's dry enough to do it. And if not, I guess I'll be back down here playing something. Maybe these
Yep.
guys.
Well, I'm going to when we get out of here. Everything that's supposed to occur today has occurred, and I'm going to call and see if I can get a haircut.
Awesome. Awesome. Sounds good. All
All
right.
right.
So I hope you guys have a wonderful today and tomorrow. And I will see you on Sunday. And it'll be a surprise. I don't even know what we're doing, but that's the way it always goes, right? I plan 5 minutes before I go on. Surprise.
Yep,
For
that's the
me
way
too.
to do it.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Take care. Have a wonderful night and get a chance to relax. You guys know who I'm talking to. Relax. Take some time for you and just put your feet up, you know. You know,
Yes, ma'am.
you know, you know who you are. Appreciate you all, everybody in the balcony, everybody who's here, and everybody who's going to watch the replay. Big thank you to Jean for showing us this lovely, easy way to bind monsters. You know, if I go like this, how tall is it? It's 4 inches, and
Wow.
that's holding it down. All right, guys, take care,
Hi,
everybody.
everyone. Thanks
See
for
you
coming.
soon. Take care now.